In the future, I intend to use this material for my own workouts, which I actually really enjoyed how we learned about a lot of different exercises and different techniques of the exercises to implement in my own workouts. I also, if I end up coaching in the future, specifically gymnastics, I'll use these techniques in coaching the younger gymnasts, even over the summers when I go home. I also plan to use these structured workouts for friends, family, whoever decides to ask me about it. And even in the future, being a physician's assistant, I'll be able to look at what might not be good for an athlete coming back into their sport, what certain exercises wouldn't be appropriate and that could injure them earlier when they're first beginning to come back to the sport, and later on, like how they can slowly get back into certain exercises and which exercises would be good for them when they're slowly, like when they're first coming back. Because sometimes if they move too fast with these heavier exercises or more advanced exercises, it might be more difficult. So I'll know the easier exercise and less intense exercises compared to the more difficult or higher intensity, higher volume, etc. If I could go back to the beginning of the semester, I would probably focus more on the little assignments such as like the video tutorials and the case studies to be sure I was like more specific on the information and more exact, whether using the textbook or the lecture notes. I would also try to, what I did was I wrote down my notes in my notebook. What I would try to do is go over them more on the slideshow and then go over them in my notebook. Unfortunately, I have not yet narrowed or finalized my internship as I am only a junior, but I hope to do something in the Orthopedic Institute or some kind of rehabilitation center in order to increase my knowledge of the sports medicine and orthopedic aspect, as I want to be an orthopedic physician's assistant one day.
Hey Crow, so this class really helped me apply strength and agility training to basic daily activities like bathing, cooking, eating, basically all that. It really helped me learn a lot of stretches that would be necessary to use for my patients in my future career. I really want to go into occupational therapy, so this class was definitely relevant to my future occupation. I have not finalized my internship yet, but I will this spring for next fall. If I could go back to the beginning of the semester, I would definitely study way more in advance because your exams were very specific sometimes, and definitely attend more lectures considering you switched up some of the information on the exam. But overall, I really enjoyed your class and it definitely really helped me.
Hey, so honestly, the material from this class wasn't super applicable to what I'm going to be doing in the future, but that's because I'm kind of an outlier in APK. I went in to APK because I really wanted to be an occupational therapist, but throughout volunteering and shadowing, I have completely switched and I want to be a nurse and work with babies, so it doesn't totally fit, but I still like the APK classes, that's why I stayed. I did learn a lot about strength and conditioning from this class for myself, though, that I probably never would have learned. I honestly didn't even know what Olympic weightlifting was before taking this class, so I learned a lot of exercises that I can apply or maybe show others just in my own life. I haven't finalized an internship yet because I've had a little bit of trouble with that, but I'm hoping to just be full-time at Shands and make that work. If I could go back, I would study some more of the specifics from the textbook a little more because there were some really specific questions on some of the exams. Like I remember there was a question on the first exam about push-ups that I'd never seen before but was in the textbook and I just hadn't seen it. But overall, I really enjoyed this class and I learned a lot that I probably never would have learned before or after.